Hey everybody, welcome to the Keto Mom page. My name is Stephanie, and we are going to dive into this book kind of quickly because we have a busy day. And so as you're tuning in, I would love to know, actually I want to know who is excited about this book. Who actually has the book? Do you have the book or are you following along? Either or is just fine. And I'd love to know, actually, why don't you share, why are you here? Like how did you find the Keto Mom page, or why are you a part of this community? I actually would love to know that. Are you here for encouragement? Are you here to help? Like, I just want to lose 50 pounds. Are you here for recipes? Are you here? Why are you here? So as you're tuning in, share with me. Why are you here? And welcome. We are tuning in from a hotel in Kentucky. If you've been following our last month, we have been in Arizona, Florida, Arizona, Minnesota, Kentucky. Super fun. So this weekend, I have the opportunity to be here to help lead one of our company's events. It's going to be incredible. We have lots of team members here, and so it's going to be a busy, fun weekend. But I wanted to make sure we got in a little bit, or the very beginning of chapter 2, before we dive into the weekend, and it's going to really help bring you awareness as you dive into the weekend. So I do have a question for you at the end as we go through this, and I want you to really think about it all weekend long. All right. So this is the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, and chapter 2 is called Cure Yourself from Excusitis, made up word, the failure disease. Do you have a form of Excusitis? I'll tell you what that is. Go deep into your study of people. So we just talked about how in order to have success, something that you need to be really good at is observing other people. You can observe people in your life, people around you, people that you work with, and you can kind of come to the conclusion, you can just kind of watch. You can watch people that you feel are successful in lots of different areas, and you can watch people who are constantly complaining and grumbling. You might have some of these people in your lives, and you can look at the habits and behaviors just by observing successful people and maybe somebody who isn't quite there yet, and look at what they do. And just through observation, you hopefully should be able to see the things they are doing or not doing that has got them to where they are currently. Make sense? So he says, go deep into the study of people, because he says you need to have an awareness of what others are doing, and you will discover unsuccessful people suffer a mind-deadening thought disease. We call this disease Excusitis. Excusitis. It's such a funny word. Every failure has this disease in its advanced form, and most average persons have at least a mild case of it. What excuse do you constantly have running through your head if you don't reach a goal, if you don't get started, if you slip up? What's the excuse, right? Excusitis. Did I say it wrong? Excusitis. Excusitis? Excusitis. Such a funny word, but thank you. All right. So study the lives of successful people, and you'll discover this. All the excuses made by the mediocre fellow could be, but aren't made by the successful person. He says everybody can have an excuse. Are you going to work past it? He says, like any disease, Excusitis gets worse if it isn't treated properly. A victim of this thought disease goes through the mental process. I'm not doing well enough. I'm not doing as good as I should. What can I use as an excuse? What can I use as an alibi? My poor health, lack of education, I'm too old, I'm too young, bad luck, personal misfortune, the way my family was brought up. Once the victim of this failure disease has selected a good excuse, he sticks with it. And then he relies on that excuse to explain himself and others why he isn't going forward. So when you find yourself in a position where maybe you had a bad day, maybe you didn't do all of the things that you wanted to do, maybe you didn't go to the gym, I would really recommend to catch yourself, have an awareness of what excuse you're playing in your head. What story are you running in your head? I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too busy. I'll wait till my kids are older. Oh, my family's always had this in there. It's always been a part of our family. What are you running in your head? So, he says there's 4 most common forms of excusitis. Excusitis. However you say the word. Excusitis. You know what? We really should hop on a Zoom sometime and have everybody talk so I can hear what you think. Y'all are funny. All right. Regardless of how the word is explained, he said there's 4 most common forms of excusitis. Number 1, he says, but my health isn't good enough. We're going to talk just about number 1 right now, and we'll dive into the other ones later, because I feel like you are here. I asked in the beginning, if you didn't share, why are you on this page? Why are you here? Bad health is in 1,000 different forms. It is used as an excuse for failure to do what a person wants to do, failure to accept greater responsibility, failure to make more money, failure to achieve success. Health excusitis ranges in all different ways and different forms. I don't feel good, to a more specific way, I've got such and such wrong with me. So he tells a lot of stories. I'm not gonna read the stories to you. But he basically shares a story of a man who, he talks to lots of different people. The stories range from really serious illnesses to people who just wake up in the morning and just claim and speak these words over their life. I don't feel good. Some people are like looking for reasons to not feel good. Some people are using their health as an excuse if they're not having success in different areas. And he basically says this: my friend, who now is 78 years old, expresses his philosophy after he went through a whole bunch of different health-related issues. He says, I'm going to live until I die. I'm not going to get life and death confused. While I'm on this earth, I'm going to live. Why? Why be only half alive? Every minute of a person spends worrying about dying is just 1 minute. That fellow might as well just die. Oftentimes we worry so much and we make an excuse of why we can't do things. Or even right now, like with your weight, most of you are here for a reason, because you want some fat loss. What excuses are you utilizing to just go, I've always been this weight. It'll always be this way. I was born, it's in my genes, it's in my genetics. I wasn't taught to eat healthy. I'm too busy, I can't go to the gym, right? Be aware that the stories that you run through your mind. There are 2 ways of meeting health problems. The first fellow, so he tells 2 stories. One man who's constantly worried about his health, and one man and he's got nothing to worry about, and one man who had a serious heart condition and went through and underwent an incredible surgery and has a different outlook on life. He says there are 2 different ways of meeting health problems. The first fellow, not even sure he had anything wrong with him, was worried and depressed on the road to defeat, wanting somebody to second his motion that he couldn't go forward in life because there might be something wrong, constantly making excuses. The second individual, after undergoing one of the most difficult operations, was optimistic, eager to do something. The difference was how they thought towards their health. How do you think towards your health? So all I'm going to say is this. He says there's 4 things you can do to kick your health excusitis in the booty. All right. Number 1, refuse to talk about your health. If you're constantly talking about it and constantly going, what if I get this? My family had this. This is in my family history. What happens if? Stop it. What if every day you woke up and you said, I am healthy. I am strong. I'm healthy and strong. What if you just got up in the morning and part of your affirmations, which we talked about last month, was you say, I'm healthy and strong. I bet you can do that. So number 1, refuse to talk about your health. Number 2 is refuse to worry about your health. And he quotes a doctor and how the doctor says so many people come in just looking for something they're going to be sick. Stop worrying about it. Number 3, be genuinely grateful for your health. Be genuinely grateful. Stop talking about it poorly. What if? Stop worrying about it if there's nothing to worry about. If you've got something that you need to go get checked, go get it checked. Number 3, be genuinely, how come some words are so funny to say? Grateful. And then number 4, remind yourself often, it's better to wear out than to rust out. Life is yours to enjoy. Don't waste it. Don't pass up living by thinking yourself into a hospital bed. I like that one. It's better to wear out than to rust out. All right, we're going to go on. There's so much to this chapter because it's not just about health, but it's kind of long, and I do have to get my booty in gear for the day and for the weekend. So we will continue on, depending on how early we start tomorrow. We'll probably continue on Monday, but we will see. So all I want you to think about or just be aware is, number 1, be aware of the words you speak over your own health and your own life. Be aware of the excuses that you make so that you can stop them in their tracks and go, no more excuses. No more blaming, shaming, and justifying my past or my lack of ambition, or you can't blame your kids. Kids are a blessing, right? I used to do that. I used to tell myself I can't go to the gym till my girls are older. I can't leave them home for an hour with my husband. I truly did this when our girls were babies. I refused to go work out anywhere because I felt like I needed to be with my children 24/7. Young moms. I mean, I'm not like an elderly mother, but I do have teenagers. Did you laugh at me?
No.
Oh, I have girls that can watch themselves and don't do what I did. Go for a run. Maybe you already do. I just didn't. Run with your baby. I didn't have anybody tell me or honestly give me any feedback as my girls were younger to go in and do things. Like I maybe got my hair done if I felt like it was okay to slip away, but the entire time I was away from them, I was like, what if they need me? Are they being fed? What happens if they're crying? It was like the life I lived in my mind for years and years till we were out of the baby stage. I never left them. And guess what? It's okay if you leave them for an hour and go to the gym. I wish somebody would have told me that. They never did. I never, ever got away. I did not leave our last baby. I did not leave her one day without me until she was 2, and I was forced to because my dad got sick and I had to leave the state. So, your health is important. You can't pour into your family or anybody else unless you are filled up. So if you are not healthy, you need to take care of your health so you can teach it to your kids. If you are not healthy, you want to be around long enough to play with your grandkids. Your health is important. Stop making excuses. Have the awareness of the excuses you're making so that we can pivot. If you have excuses that you don't know how to get past, message me. I'm not an expert, but I can give you some ideas or maybe some books or different tips or tricks to help you create those or to change that thought pattern. I'm probably going to say, what are you reading? What are you filling your mind with? What are the words you're speaking over your life? Super, super important. What outlook do you have on your life? Who are you blaming from the past? Like there eventually comes a time where you have to go, all right, I can't run that story anymore. Oh, I'm an adult. I actually don't live with my parents anymore. They don't make my food. I hear this often. Well, I wasn't raised to eat healthy. Neither was I. I joke with people and say I grew up on TV dinners, fast food, and canned vegetables. And my canned vegetable is creamed corn. So, and it's fine. That was like the thing of my growing up days. That really was. Like TV dinners came out. They were great. Super convenient. My parents are incredible. They work in the medical field. They were super busy. And they just did the best they could. They didn't know. They were like vegetables. It says vegetables on the can. It's fine. And I can't use any excuse from my past for the choices I make today. I'm responsible. I'm an adult. I'm pretty sure everybody on here that's watching me is an adult. Y'all make decisions every single day, whether you go through the drive-thru or you don't, whether you drink the water or you grab the can of pop, whether you go to the gym or you don't go to the gym, right? So have the awareness of the excuses you're using, and it's time to stop. All right. This is the book. For those who don't have it, you don't have to get it. You can tune in here to get some of the highlights, but the books are always great because I don't share the stories with you. So if you want more of the book, grab the book, continue to tune in here. Otherwise, again, if you're here, I asked in the beginning, what are you here for? If you came for recipes or keto tips or tricks, scroll through the last 7 years and you will have no shortage of recipes. You can go to ketomomsecrets.com, all one word, ketomomsecrets.com, for many different recipes. Otherwise, send me a message. I'm always here to help. I hope you have an incredible day. No more excuses. Don't fall into the Excusitis, and we'll talk to you very soon. Bye, everybody. Oh, I don't know the next book. If you have any suggestions, this is going to take us a while. It's pretty thick. So this will take us at least this whole month. So if you've got any suggestions of books you've heard of that you're like, hey, this would be a really great book, send me a message. Otherwise, I have to go look through my bookshelf. So have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.